If you're a doctor, a coach, a physiotherapist, or even an athlete, today's video is going to be one of the most important ones you'll ever watch. Today we are talking about the medical-legal aspects of sports medicine. This is a topic that most people ignore until something goes wrong. So stay with me till the end because this information could literally save your career, your license, or even protect your legal rights as an athlete. Let's get started. Before we dive into the legal side, let's quickly define sports medicine. Sports medicine is the branch of medicine that deals with physical fitness, treatment, and prevention of injuries related to sports and exercise. It involves doctors, physiotherapists, nutritionists, coaches, and trainers all working together. But here's the thing, when multiple professionals are involved, legal responsibility becomes very complex. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. The very first and most important legal concept in sports medicine is duty of care. What does this mean? It means that any medical professional or coach who takes responsibility for an athlete is legally obligated to provide a standard level of care. For example, if a team doctor is present at a match and an athlete collapses, that doctor must provide immediate medical assistance. Failing to do so is not just unethical, it is illegal. Duty of care applies to sports doctors and physicians, physiotherapists, coaches and trainers, and even sports organizations and clubs. If any of these parties are found negligent in their duty, they can face serious legal consequences, including lawsuits and loss of a professional license. Remember, duty of care is not optional, it is the legal requirement. Now let's talk about informed consent, another critical legal pillar in sports medicine. Before any medical procedure, treatment, or even a fitness test, the athlete must give informed consent. What does informed consent mean? It means the athlete must be fully informed about the procedure, made aware of all possible risks, and given the freedom to say yes or no without any pressure. This is especially important in surgical procedures for sports injuries, the use of injections like cortisone, participation in clinical trials, pre-participation physical examinations. What happens if informed consent is not taken? Even if the treatment is successful, the medical professional can be sued for assault or battery under the law. And for minors, that means athletes under 18, consent must be taken from the parents or legal guardians. Always document the consent. A verbal consent is not enough in a court of law. All right, now we come to one of the most serious topics, medical negligence. Medical negligence in sports occurs when a healthcare provider fails to meet the accepted standard of care, and this failure causes harm to the athlete. For negligence to be proven legally, 4 things must be established. 1. Duty. The professional had a duty of care. 2. Breach. They breached or violated that duty. 3. Causation. That breach directly caused the injury. 4. Damage. The athlete suffered real harm. Real-world examples of sports medicine negligence: a doctor clears an athlete to play despite a concussion. A physiotherapist uses a wrong rehabilitation technique causing further injury. A team physician fails to diagnose a stress fracture properly. These cases have ended careers, both for the athlete and the medical professional. If you are a sports medicine professional, always follow established clinical guidelines. Always document everything. And when in doubt, refer to a specialist. Now let's talk about one of the most controversial areas, doping in sports and its legal consequences. Doping refers to the use of banned performance-enhancing substances or methods by athletes. The World Anti-Doping Agency, or WADA, sets the international rules and maintains the prohibited list of substances. But here's where the medical-legal issue comes in. Sometimes athletes use prescribed medications that unknowingly contain banned substances, and in that case, both the athlete and the prescribing doctor can face serious consequences. Legal consequences of doping include suspension or permanent ban from sports, loss of medals and titles, criminal charges in some countries, lawsuits against team doctors for prescribing banned drugs. As a sports medicine doctor, your legal responsibility is to 1. Always check WADA's prohibited list before prescribing. 2. Apply for a therapeutic use exemption, or TUE, when necessary. 3. Educate athletes about what they can and cannot take. Ignorance of doping laws is not a valid legal defense. Now let's talk about the legal rights of athletes and the role of insurance. Athletes have fundamental legal rights, including the right to receive proper medical care, the right to informed consent, the right to appeal doping decisions, the right to privacy of their medical records, the right to fair treatment without discrimination. Under international and national sports law, these rights are protected. Now, what about insurance? Sports injuries can be catastrophic, and treatment can be extremely expensive. This is why sports insurance is not just recommended, it is legally required in many professional sports organizations. Types of sports insurance include personal accident insurance for athletes, professional liability insurance for doctors and coaches, event liability insurance for sports organizations. If an athlete is injured during a game and there is no insurance coverage, the sports club or organization can be held legally liable for all medical expenses and compensation. So if you are running a sports club, academy, or organization, make sure your insurance is up to date every single year. We are almost at the end, but this last point is incredibly important. In medical legal cases, documentation is everything. Proper medical documentation in sports includes pre-participation physical examination records, signed informed consent forms, treatment records and progress notes, medication records, especially for controlled substances, incident and injury reports, referral letters, and specialist reports. Why is this so important legally? Because in a court of law, if it is not written down, it did not happen. Your documentation protects you as a professional. It proves that you followed the correct procedures. It demonstrates that you obtained proper consent. It demonstrates that you met your duty of care. Digital records should be stored securely with proper encryption and password protection to ensure patient confidentiality under health data protection laws. All right, let's wrap up. Today we covered the key medical legal aspects of sports medicine: duty of care, informed consent, medical negligence, doping laws, athlete rights and insurance, and documentation. Whether you are a sports doctor, a coach, an athlete, or a sports organization, understanding these legal principles is not optional, it is essential. The sports field should be a place of fair competition and safety, and the law is there to make sure of that. If you found this video helpful, please like it, share it with your team, and subscribe to the channel for more important content like this. Drop your questions in the comments below. I read every single one. Until next time, stay safe, stay legal, and keep performing at your best. See you in the next video.